Alrighty, thank you, Ryan. Still to come on Mornings on Fox 11. A fugitive and Air Force sergeant wanted for alleged sex crimes was arrested in Reno earlier this week. What happened before he told troopers he was crossing things off his bucket list? I'm going to tell you more on that bizarre story. Also, still to come with Governor Sandoval out of the race for Harry Reid's Senate seat. Could Lieutenant Governor Mark Hutchison have his eye on it? We're going to see what he has to say about serving Nevada on Capitol Hill. Local headlines coming up.
Entire time? Okay. Cool. So I now have to do a toolbox, she said.
2 copies, right?
What should my tagline be?
Would you mind bringing that in at your computer?
You are watching Mornings on Fox with Bill Frankmore, Samantha Boatman, Melissa Carlson, and weather with meteorologist Tim Studebaker. This is Mornings on Fox.
And welcome back, everyone. Taking a look at your local headlines on this Wednesday morning, Tesla Motors secured approval of necessary permits to do more than $15 million of new construction on the Gigafactory east of Reno. Story representatives say they approved the series of permits, starting with more than $9 million of concrete work that's expected to be completed in late October at the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center. More than 20 projects have been approved since last year. The factory is expected to start making lithium batteries for its electric cars by next year.
And in news out of Carson City yesterday, Nevada Governor Brian Sandoval made it official. He says he will not seek Senator Harry Reid's seat in the Senate. The governor has maintained all along that he is focused on being Nevada's governor right now, but some thought he might change his mind after the Nevada legislative session ended.
Part of it was a family commitment as well. I still have a 10-year-old, and I want to make sure that I'm there for her volleyball games, her lacrosse games, and all of her school events. I've said it over and over again, I love my job, and it's a privilege and honor to serve the people of Nevada as its governor. I'm very proud of what we've accomplished in this past legislative session.
The governor says there is still work ahead as Nevada's governor. His official announcement leaves wide open the race for Reid's seat. Sandoval says he's keenly interested in who comes forward as he plans to eventually make an endorsement. Well, we know who one of those won't be. Governor Sandoval isn't the only one ruling himself out for the U.S. Senate. Nevada Lieutenant Governor Mark Hutchison is also saying he's not going to run for it. The Republican told the Associated Press that he will not be a candidate in the race, but plans to diligently support fellow Republicans in the 2016 election cycle. Hutchison's name was among several that has been thrown around as potential successors to Senator Harry Reid, who will be vacating his seat.
A state board led by Governor Sandoval has approved a number of contracts continuing Nevada's efforts to attract foreign tourists. The contracts are worth a total of $1.4 million and are extensions of promotional efforts in countries like South Korea, Australia, and Germany. A tourism department spokesperson said Nevada lawmakers also approved increasing the department's budget to expand a marketing campaign to India. But the spokesperson said the tourism board still needs to go through a competitive bidding process before that campaign begins. And speaking of tourists, visitors to Virginia City will now have access to free Wi-Fi 24/7. It's been termed VC Visitor Access, and all you need to do is log in with your email. City officials say until now, internet access there has been pretty spotty because of its remote location. They hope this new service will allow visitors to stay connected during their visits. With the free Wi-Fi, visitors can also download the Virginia City, Nevada mobile app. The app includes an audio tour of 32 historical landmarks, a list of attractions, and the ability to purchase event tickets.
In other news this morning, an Air Force technical sergeant wanted as a fugitive for alleged sex crimes was arrested in Reno on Monday night. 35-year-old David Helm, was stopped along with an unidentified woman for a broken motorcycle taillight and then booked on a felony warrant for military desertion. Helm had been missing since May and skipped a Monday general court-martial for various charges, including sexual abuses against a child under the age of 16. His family feared he was in danger, but Helm told the NHP sergeant he was just crossing things off his bucket list.
Apparently down in Las Vegas, he was able to go skydiving. He was able to drive a race car on a race car track down there, and apparently was making his way to California to where he wanted to for unknown reasons, drive down the Pacific Coast Highway and also visit the Redwood Forest.
According to the Air Force Office of Special Investigation, Helm will be transferred back to Scott Air Force Base in Illinois. A new court-martial date for Helm and any new charges related to his disappearance are yet to be determined. Sam?
All right, Bill, thank you. Still to come, parents, listen up. A nationally known speaker and author says she has the key to well-behaved children. Yep, find out what specific things she's telling moms and dads to do. And just a quick reminder here, the news doesn't stop when you leave the house, and Fox 11 has you covered. Download the new and improved free Fox 11 AM app for your smartphone and your tablet. Remember this, it's your only source for local real-time traffic updates. It's available on Apple and Android devices. All you need to do is search Fox 11 AM. We'll be back.
I'm coming. There aren't any? Okay. But you know Welcome back. Well, a nationally known speaker and author says that the world seems to be working against parents. So she's giving parents ammunition, if you will, specific things that moms and dads can do to raise a well-behaved child. We need to watch this one.
Yeah, everybody has all the answers. I know. I've read about 9 books. Special correspondent Sheila Gray has details in this Family 411 report.
What's our virtue this month?
Joy. It's a joyful day for these second graders. They spent a couple of weeks earning money.
They've talked about the dishes, setting the table, even some of them have helped clean bathrooms, taking care of their pets.
Then they circle the wagons for a field trip to the grocery store.
You guys want to do crunchy?
It's a lesson in stretching a dollar.
$2.69. $2.69. Yeah.
And service. The more the kids buy, the more they have for the food pantry.
I learned that a lot of people that are poor, they don't have much stuff.
Children need to know why what you do is important.
Nationally known speaker and author Gene Hunt says it's crucial to teach children that everything they do has an impact on others, good or bad.
How many have ever disobeyed your parents? Look at the hands.
Hunt wrote a guide for parents called Raising a Moral Child after a national school assessment showed 87% of children don't believe an action is wrong unless they get caught. She says every family needs a set of rules with input from every family member and consequences.
There has to be almost like a consensus in the family. When you do this, this happens. And it has to be consistent.
And Hunt says mom and dad can't forget children are always watching.
There's so many bad things out there. You try to shelter as much as you can, but it's hard.
Mother of 4, Annie Chun, says she's always looking for situations which help her kids learn the right path.
I'm always pointing out things to them, constantly. See that person over there, see that person over there. They have it worse than you do. Help them.
We'll take a few kids in at a time.
Hands-on projects like this show kids the consequences of doing good.
Now the kids are taking the food they bought and they're filling up the food pantry, and in just a day they'll come back here and see how many of their items are gone.
The second graders really like the feeling they get from helping.
Better to help people than to get presents. It makes me feel kind and it makes me feel happy because that I'm actually doing something in my community.
And trusting the way they feel when they do good or bad is a lesson that'll help kids shape their future choices.
And Jeannie Hunt suggests that using TV shows, movies, and situations that you see to start conversations with your kids about why things are right or wrong and what they should do to do things differently if it's not what they agree with.
Yeah, makes sense. I don't even take my kids shopping anymore because they want, you know what I mean, it was part of the piece there. You take your kids to the store and you teach them the value of a dollar. And
yeah, I mean, if I had time.
They don't know that yet, and they just want everything, and I'm sick of saying no 47 times.
And I don't have the patience either to go through all the numbers. I just basically throw him in the cart. He's 6. I'm like, get in the cart. He's like, I'm too big. I said, get in the cart. I just push.
You make Liam sit in the little seat thing?
Maybe.
Good Lord, helicopter parent.
No, that's not helicopter parent. That's lazy parent.
He's growing up. He's growing up. All right, let's toss it over to Tim. Hey, Tim.
All right. Hey, good morning to you. We have a flash flood watch in place across the entire viewing area today. We're watching for the potential for flash flooding. Places that have had recent rain, steep terrain, and burn scars especially vulnerable. We're going to talk about all that coming up in your forecast. We'll be back. Good morning and welcome back to Mornings on Fox 11. We had those isolated thunderstorms yesterday. Some were pretty strong and some were some downpours too. We had flooding issues yesterday in places like Dayton. Now we are watching more widespread rainfall move through the area. Light activity to the northeast of Winnemucca, but check this out. Over to the west of Lovelock, just south of the Black Rock Desert and approaching Pyramid Lake, a heavier embedded shower now within these lighter to moderate showers. So a little bit more activity on the way. We do have some light rain falling in Reno. It looks like it's come to an end for now in Carson City, but widespread light to moderate rainfall today, as well as some heavier pockets moving through today. It'll be on and off, less lightning, so we are going to see some dry times, less lightning than yesterday, but more in the way of actual rainfall widespread across the area. We're looking at light to moderate rain at the airport in Reno, 60 degrees for the current temperature, 10-mile-per-hour winds, humidity pretty high out there because of this rain. 57 in Carson City now, 55 in South Lake Tahoe, 52 in Truckee, and 63 in Silver Springs. We have that storm system continuing for us today. This time around, instead of isolated small pockets of moisture and isolated downpours, we're actually looking at more tropical origin moisture here. This is actually the remnants of Tropical Storm Blanca, and it's bringing some rain to the area. Some moderate to heavy rain at times. We are watching flash flooding concerns in some areas, burn scars, as well as areas that received rainfall yesterday, and also any steep terrain. Those are the most likely areas to see any sort of flash flooding today if you happen to get some heavier moisture moving through. Today's really the day. It's on and off rain all throughout the day today. Heavy at times, so again, watch for flooding concerns. Never drive through because you don't know how deep the water actually is, even if you think you know the road. We are warming up and drying out after this, though. Back to the 80s and even the 90s by the time we get to your Thursday, Friday, and into the weekend. Mostly sunny skies returning to the area, so a chance to dry out after what looks like is going to be a pretty wet day today. We'll be back.
Then I only saw one topic today. That's about the pregnant lady smoking. What's the other one?
Woo! Welcome back. I'm Melissa Carlson. Your time now is 7:28. We're joining you live from Mornings on Fox 11 with your News 4 update. Well, the Whitney Peak Hotel in Reno is getting ready for its 1-year anniversary, and it is inviting the public to join in on all the festivities. The kickoff concert featuring James McMurdy is tomorrow. People are going to be able to attend an open house and enjoy guided tours of the new rooms. Saturday, the hotel's restaurant Heritage is going to feature all-day happy hour. That's happening this weekend as well. And there's also going to be family free climb at base camp. If you haven't been there, it is an awesome view of downtown Reno as well. Great picture by the Arch if you can get there. And meteorologist Tim Studebaker joins us now with a look at our forecast. Question is it going to be good weather to get out and climb that wall, Tim?
Yeah, so today is kind of out of the question, I think, for a lot of us. We do have some scattered shower activity on and off all day. It is a lot of moisture from the remnants of Tropical Storm Blanca moving through the area, so showers through the day today on and off. Some of those will be heavy, and we are talking about some localized flooding concerns out there. Localized, the key word. We're talking mostly in areas where there are burn scars, steep terrain, or areas that received heavy rainfall yesterday. We have rainfall across the area. Parts of the area right now, we'll continue to watch that through the day. Heavy at times, some breaks of dry times too. Then by tomorrow, things do start to dry out, and we are looking better as we head into the weekend, and much warmer too.
Who needs a
The manhunt continues for the 2 escaped murderers in New York. We're going to bring you the very latest on that investigation.
Plus, the outcry from a YouTube video resulted in an officer resignation. What a Texas chief of police had to say about the pool party crisis.
And road rage down in Southern California gets so bad that a fight breaks out. We're going to show you the shocking video.
You're watching Mornings on Fox 11, connecting Northern Nevada.
And hey, good Wednesday morning, everyone. 7:32 now, middle of the work week, and a busy night last night in the world of sports. Of course, we're talking about a great game with the San Francisco Giants no-hitter, and also the NBA playoffs.
I think when you heard that the Giants pitcher threw a no-hitter, you were thinking of someone like Lincecum or Matt Cain, some of their established. Right? It was the rookie kid, young fella, rookie by the name of Chris Heston. So he throws a no-hitter in his rookie year, and he's come in to fill Matt Cain, I believe, is hurt, so he's filling his rotation spot until he gets back. Who knows if they'll send him back now? He may put him in the bullpen, may have him another starter. They have such awesome pitching in San Francisco. The Dodger fans hate that, but it's true. Also, of course, we're talking about NBA Championship Game 3 in Cleveland last night. Holy moly, LeBron James did it again. But they're also getting the help from this new hero, Dellavedova, this kid from Australia. He's kind of the unsung hero. He's been filling in for some of the injured players on the Cavs, and he had an awesome game. 20 points last night, about 10 boards as well. So it's an exciting matchup to watch.
I love your sports recaps.
You don't even have to watch the games.
You don't even have to watch the games.
You know what's interesting is Cleveland was ahead by 20 points in the third quarter, and Golden State trimmed it to 1.
Wow.
Yeah, before Cleveland came away with it.
People loving these games too.
It's exciting. It's exciting.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Bill, for all those sports updates. There you go. For all of you who didn't watch the games with us last night, now we know. Well, officials feared 2 convicted murderers may have fled the country. Hundreds of members of law enforcement continue to scour the countryside. Andrew Spencer has been following this story and has more.
A man who for 35 years supervised maintenance at the Clinton Correctional Facility says the inmates somehow knew exactly where they were going.
There's so many tunnels, all the attics, all the catwalks. It's a big maze.
A source familiar with the investigation says Joyce Mitchell, a prison employee, planned to pick up the convicted killers after they escaped, but she changed her mind at the last minute. Her son said none of that is true, defending her to NBC News.
She's not the kind of person that's going to risk her life or other people's lives to let these guys escape from prison.
A former accomplice of Richard Matt calls him cunning, dangerous, and manipulative.
He can make friends easy. He's a master manipulator. This is a 48-year-old man that knows a prison system, that knows the streets, street smarts, and is a very cunning and dangerous individual.
On Tuesday, a tip led authorities about 35 miles southeast of the prison to Willsboro, New York. There, someone said they saw 2 men walking along a road during a storm. The car came close, and the men took off running. Heavily armed and wearing body armor, authorities scoured the area, searching fields, train tracks, and wooded areas, but finding nothing. Of increasing concern is the possibility the 2 men went north into Canada. And while this border crossing along I-87 into Quebec is fairly secure, there are other places that are not. This marks one spot along the border between the U.S. and Canada. And as you can see, there are no checkpoints or fences here. I'm Andrew Spencer reporting.
Now, coming up, we're going to take a deeper look at the power tools the 2 convicts used to escape and find out how no one heard them cutting through thick steel in the middle of the night. A Texas police officer widely criticized for his handling of black teens at a pool party resigned yesterday.
Eric Casebolt has resigned from the McKinney Police Department. As the chief of police, I want to say to our community that the actions of Casebolt, as seen on the video of the disturbance at the community pool, are indefensible.
Eric Casebolt's resignation comes in response to the public outcry generated from this video. The YouTube clip shows his response to reports of fighting at a Dallas pool party. His actions have sparked major controversy, many people accusing Casebolt of racism. His resignation comes before the investigation has even finished. His attorney has not responded to a request for comment.
A civilian oversight committee issued its ruling on the fatal police shooting of Ezell Ford, an unarmed, mentally ill black man, back in August. It found one LAPD officer inappropriately used deadly force, but cleared the other officer. And it faulted both of them for their decision to draw their guns at different points in the confrontation. Ford's mother shared her reaction with reporters.
Today's decision marks the first time since the murder of my son that an independent organization charged with overseeing the police department has strongly on the record stated that what happened to Ezell was wrong.
Chief of Police Charlie Beck will now decide what happens next to the officers. In the past, he has said both officers acted appropriately. The decision by the LA Board of Police Commissioners will also be sent to the DA, who is conducting a separate investigation. There are new developments in the Colorado theater movie shooting involving James Holmes. The judge dismissed 3 jurors yesterday and had them escorted out of the courtroom. The judge made his decision after one juror claimed another juror was watching news coverage and telling others on the panel about it. The jurors were told not to read news reports or discuss the case amongst themselves. Holmes was charged with killing 12 people in a shooting spree in Aurora, Colorado back in 2012. He pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity on multiple counts of first-degree murder.
Well, Washington, D.C. on alert following a series of phoned-in bomb threats. At nearly 2 in the afternoon yesterday, in the middle of a live briefing, the Secret Service says a bomb threat was called into the D.C. Metropolitan Police, specifically targeting the press room. You can see reporters evacuating and camera crews packing up their equipment before bomb-sniffing dogs were on the scene. This threat came just hours after a bomb threat was called into the Capitol Police targeting a TSA hearing in the Senate office building. After the all clear, journalists filed back into the briefing room about an half hour later. There is no word yet on where the threat came from.
And topping your world news this morning, FIFA's Secretary General, Russia's sports minister, and the chief of the 2018 World Cup Organizing Committee held a news conference earlier today following talks regarding Russia's hosting of the World Cup in 2018. The award of the next 2 World Cups to Russia and Qatar is under intense scrutiny right now after U.S. prosecutors announced charges and Swiss authorities made several arrests. FIFA's Secretary General Jerome Valcke talked about the regulations regarding the bidding process and the level of checks that FIFA officials have to go through once they're appointed, making note that the only official elected directly by FIFA is the FIFA president, and all other officials are appointed by their local federations, and they are responsible for approvals. Melissa?
All right, Bill, thank you for that. Coming up, the health effects of smoking while pregnant are well documented, yet a lot of expecting mothers still continue to light up. How Scottish health officials are trying to put an end to the habit. And we've all been frustrated out there on the road, but one incident in Hollywood shows just how bad road rage can get. It's an incredible video coming up. Morning. Hey, real quickly, Taylor, can we add somewhere in the show about this NTSB report that came down this morning as breaking that the conductor of the train in Philly was not on his cell phone? Can we get that somewhere in the show? That's okay, thank you. Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Morning. Morning.
Good morning. So our first topic this morning is the pregnant moms, and Scottish officials basically saying, hey, listen, we're going to try this out. We are going to give you free nicotine patches and pay you in grocery, basically, vouchers, or we're going to give you the free nicotine patches and not pay you. And the numbers of people, the percentages of people, of the women who decided to stop smoking because of it. So do you think this is really basically the purpose of government to go ahead and say, hey, let's go ahead and help you not smoking, or really it falls on the mom? It is a mother's decision way. So what do you guys think about it? We'll be talking about that. And everybody's met Kara, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. We're having fun watching her chair issues there. She has some chair issues going.
No, she's still not looking at the camera.
Can you hear us, Kara? Can you give us a voice check?
Kara, can you hear us? Give me a thumbs up if you can.
Evidently not.
Kara.
Testing. Oh, Kara. No. Oh, yeah.
Now she can hear us, maybe.
I can. I just unmuted myself.
There you go. You just gotta look at the camera.
We want to make sure we can hear you. Otherwise, Melissa would be too scared to actually go to you.
I don't hit this app. There's no comments.
Fact that we really don't see very often here on Mornings on Fox 11. That cloudy, rainy look at the beginning of the day. Look at that temperature mixed in with there, 60 degrees. It is warm out there, but it is wet, so be careful on the roads. All right, let's go ahead and take a look now at what's trending over on our Facebook page this morning. Health officials across the pond in Scotland say that they might start paying pregnant women to kick their smoking habit. According to SheKnows.com, Scottish officials decided to test the program by paying 612 women to quit. Now, the women were split into 2 groups. One went through a quitting program and received free nicotine replacement therapy for 10 weeks. The other group got the same treatment along with shopping vouchers worth $600. Of the women, 23% of them in the paid group quit smoking, while just 9% of those who were not paid stopped smoking. The study is similar to a program here in the States. In New York, pregnant women were receiving vouchers for diapers if they could kick the habit. Ask your Google Plusers, what do you think about it? I think it's a good idea to have the government step in and say, let's try this out to get you to stop smoking. Or no, actually the responsibility really does lie on the pregnant woman. Her choice. Starting off first with Glenn. Glenn, what do you think?
Well, I'm not in favor of paying people to do something that they're not supposed to be doing in the first place. I would like to see, how about education? Here's what happens to your child. Here's how your child comes out, for example, if you continue to smoke. Let's start with some pictures like that. And then how about this? Instead of paying them to not smoke, if we catch you smoking, we're going to deduct money from your bank account. There. That way it doesn't cost the taxpayers. It costs the mom.
What's a bit disturbing to me is that the health of your child isn't important, but a few extra bucks in your wallet will do it for you. This one bothers me. Kempton, what do you think?
Yeah, I disagree with Glenn. First of all, some of those moms could be very low income, so penalizing them, it's making the whole situation worse. But the thing is, look at the whole total system cost, right? If the cost to the system, to the whole healthcare system, is $600 or whatever in the beginning now, compared to the long-term healthcare detrimental cost for the mom and for the baby and for everyone, hey, I mean, it seems like a good deal. And so, yeah, if it works, if the program is shown to and proven to be work, they could. I say go for it. It's worth it.
So $600, it's worth the investment potentially for each of these people. For you. All right, well, Steve, what do you think out of Sparks? Do you think it's a good idea?
I think it's a good idea. I kind of agree with Kempton. I mean, you know, you look at the cost of the medical expenses you're going to spend on the kid in the first year of life. It's like the one in Scotland said it costed millions of dollars as opposed to $600. $600 is nothing. You know, pay it if that's going to do the trick for them. Fine. I don't think $600 would be enough money, but you know, that's another story. You know, but the mother should be responsible enough. She's responsible enough to have a kid. She should be responsible enough to be able to quit smoking and take care of the kid while she's pregnant. That's the way I look at it.
We would love to hear what you have to say. You can go ahead and post your comments on our Facebook page. That's where the conversation continues. Thanks, guys. Bill, over to you.
Alrighty, thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Melissa. And the big question left unanswered about the escaped fugitives in New York is, how do they get the power tools to break out of prison? We're going to dive into that when we come back. Stay with us.
Yeah, Glenn, but sadly, if whatever works, forget about the mom for a moment. Just look at the baby. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's why I say, if you take the pictures of babies who are born to moms who smoked while they were pregnant, and let's just start with some education right there. Yeah. You know, I think, you know, that's the kind of things I like to see. I mean, because I'm looking at the health of the child after. So now the baby's born, so the mom starts smoking again, and the kid's in a house that's filled with smoke, which can be as damaging as when the child was in the womb. So
yeah, but Glenn, it's the double-edged sword of freedom, right? Freedom. It's a mom's freedom to smoke. She can be free to an idiot.
That's why I think, honestly,
look at our generation, right? Our parents, like not my parents, my dad, my father, smoked like, not like a chimney, but smoked enough that, and I cough like crazy, right? So hey, fortunately, I think we trained him to actually smoke outside.
Yeah.
I kind of agree. That's one of the reasons that I started smoking, is because people around me were smoking, and when I smoked, it didn't bother me. When I got away from those people, I was able to quit. You know, I'm glad of that.
Yeah,
and I can't go
I'm
back.
so glad that I never take to smoke. Like, my lung just couldn't take it. Otherwise, my dad smoked so much, not so much, but smoked enough that I could have been a smoker. But luckily,
yeah, honestly, the more studies I look about things like this, when you seriously do have a good education program, people tend to wise up. That's why I'm for education over bribery, because I mean I want them to have the knowledge.
I go with what works. Well, good seeing you, Kara. So see you next time. I'll be back.
Into that.
See you guys.
And one question still remains unanswered. This is a question on everybody's mind. How on God's green earth did the two escapees get a hold of power tools And how did no one hear them cutting through quarter-inch steel in the middle of the night?
Hard to believe. Well, Stephanie Elam had some power tools tested to see if they would work.
Whoever did it has some knowledge of, how to use tools.
Ernie Pinuelas has been an iron worker for nearly 30 years and says there's no doubt that Richard Matt and David Sweat used power tools to break through the walls of their prison cells.
First of all, it's made of steel, so you'd have to have some sort of a tool to be able to cut it.
When you look at that picture, what tool do you think that they used to cut through that wall?
To me, it looked like a cutoff wheel, basically a grinder with a thinner wheel on it made to cut right through steel.
Go ahead and show us what that would look like and sound like. Using this grinder, it took Pinuelas about a minute to cut this straight line through this steel plate. But A, I took my earplug out to listen. It's really loud.
Extremely loud.
B, it smells like it really has a very distinct odor.
Yeah.
So do you think that this is something that they could get away with under those circumstances?
Somebody would really have to kind of be trying to ignore them, I guess, from happening, because the smell gets on your clothes, it gets on your skin, so you have to actually wash it off.
After cutting holes in their cell walls, authorities say the inmates managed to break through a brick wall 2 feet thick and then cut into a pipe that led outside the prison. Is there any way you could buffer the sound of any of these tools if you were operating them?
Perhaps maybe by laying blankets around the object and just working the tool very slowly.
But it would be tedious.
Yeah, it would take a long time.
Investigators believe Matt and Sweat then crawled 400 feet through a pipe that was 24 inches in diameter.
The cuts are pretty clean.
So in the time it took you to just create that one line with the grinder, you did a circle around with the torch.
With the torch.
And it's so much quieter.
A lot quieter.
And it's not as much of a smell.
Not as much, yeah.
But there is one problem, the equipment. A torch would require tanks of mixed gases. If you were breaking out of jail, you'd rather have a torch.
Absolutely.
Stephanie Elam, CNN, La Palma, California.
Just still so crazy.
Yeah, and awesome. We just basically taught every criminal how to break out of prison.
That's exactly what I was
Pinuelas
thinking.
says all these tools need a power source to operate. Of course, there are battery pack versions of these tools, but the escapees, well, they would still need a place to charge the batteries. So therein lies another question.
Yeah, I wonder how long they
How it
planned
happened.
this.
Yeah, all right. Still on the loose this morning.
Yeah. Well, still to come here on Mornings on Fox 11 on your Wednesday. Airlines are seeing a record high in profit, but that isn't translating into lower ticket prices. We're going to tell you why. Coming up, Tim?
All right, thank you, Sam. We also have a flash flood watch in place across the entire viewing area. The potential for flash flooding, especially on burn scars, steep terrain, and also areas that got heavy rain yesterday. We're going to talk about all that coming up in your forecast. We'll be back.
Right?
I think that all of us in this room, and all of us in general, ought to be glad that there are people, wildfire guardians, that care enough about the environment to be sand in the wheels sometimes.
Yeah, he's definitely a.
That doesn't sound biased.
Yeah, I'd be real surprised if this sucker wasn't overturned.
Good. Send you the
Good morning and welcome back to Mornings on Fox 11. Yesterday, some very isolated heavy downpours and stronger thunderstorms. Today, a little bit more widespread activity, but we're losing out that severe threat, so that's good news, but we could be watching for flash flooding issues in places like burn scars as well as steep terrain and anywhere that saw heavy rain from the storms yesterday. Light rain activity out to the northeast of Winnemucca, stretching up into Elko County, also down to the southwest of there, just northwest of Lovelock and south of the Black Rock Desert, and that's some heavier rain starting to show up on radar. This is also approaching the Pyramid Lake area. Down toward Reno Sparks, a little bit of moderate rain at the moment, and also up toward Truckee, we had some heavier rain earlier in the morning. We're watching light to moderate rain push through right now. A little bit drier in the southern zones, but as we go through the day today, we all have a chance for widespread rainfall on and off throughout the day. Some of these showers could be on the heavier side, so that sparks the potential for some flash flooding in some of those flash flooding prone areas. There is less lightning in the forecast for today as compared to yesterday, but more in the way of moisture. 60 in town right now, light to moderate rain, 10-mile-per-hour winds, 90% humidity. A lot of humidity in the air thanks to this rain. 57 in Carson City right now, 58 in Fernley, 52 in Truckee, so the temperatures are relatively mild and pretty close together. Uniform temperatures thanks to the moisture that is in the air. We are watching a band of rain right now stretching from north central Nevada right down toward the California border and beyond into the Central Valley of California. You can always see closer looks at the radar at our website, foxreno.com. Click on the weather tab and you'll see the radar there to play with and zoom right in on your town. We're watching for additional light to moderate rain with some pockets of heavier rain through the day today, but as we head into that 7-day forecast, things will dry out after today. So on and off rain, heavy at times today. Flooding issues remain a concern. Remember, don't ever drive through a flooded roadway. It is not safe to do so. You don't know how deep the water actually is. 80s and 90s, though, returning to the forecast with mostly sunny skies after today. Today's a busy day, but after today, things will start to quiet down with mostly sunny skies and warmer temperatures. We'll be back.
Is it? That Welcome back. I'm Melissa Carlson. Your time now is 7:58. We're joining you live from Mornings on Fox 11 with your News 4 update. Well, Tesla Motors secured approval of necessary permits to do more than $15 million of new construction on the Gigafactory east of Reno. Story County representatives say, yes, they have approved the series of permits, starting with more than $9 million of concrete work that's expected to be completed in late October at the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center. More than 20 projects have been approved since last year. The factory is expected to start making lithium batteries for its electric cars by next year. Meteorologist Tim Studebaker joins us now with a look at our forecast. Hi, Tim.
Good morning to you. We have the remnant moisture from Tropical Storm Blanca in the area today. That means on and off rainfall through the day. We're already seeing light to moderate rain, even some heavier pockets so far this morning. We will continue to see on and off rain through the day. Some of it could be heavy at times, producing localized flooding, and localized really is the word that we need to stress there, especially burn scars, areas that received heavier rainfall yesterday, as well as steep terrain. Those are the places that have the best chance if any heavy rainfall comes through for any flooding. It is more moisture than yesterday. It is less in the way of lightning, but that is still a threat for us. It's just a lower threat than yesterday. We are watching for drier weather, though. Starting tomorrow, we'll dry out into the weekend, and mostly sunny skies return with temperatures well above average just by tomorrow.
Well, it's unlikely you will see too many videos quite like this one. We're going to show you what happened here in this road rage incident.
Let's move over. Kim Kardashian, a 6-year-old, is now breaking the internet. Find out why her dance recital is going viral.
You're watching Mornings on Fox 11, connecting Northern Nevada.
Good Wednesday morning, and thank you for joining us here on Mornings on Fox 11, 8 o'clock, second hour of the show. And that little video clip that you saw right there, if you haven't seen it in your social media thread yet, take a second to watch it. It is absolutely adorable.
I love it.
Gosh, that little girl.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm anxious to see it.
She's dancing like nobody's business.
To Aretha Franklin's respect.
That's right. And also, if you get a chance, take a look at Yahoo this morning too. They said they caught a picture of what they think is the largest great white shark ever, expected to be.
Oh, I did see that.
Oh my gosh,
that video.
Yeah, it is incredible. It doesn't look real, but take a look at it if you get a chance.
I bet you he would go from here to the other end of the studio.
They
Looks
said-
like he's 35 feet long.
I think they said 25 feet, but they say he could
So
be up to 50 years
huge around,
old.
yeah.
Imagine how big that mouth is.
Yeah. Well, you saw him next to divers, and they look like little guppies next to him.
Wow.
Like he would just swallow them in. like that big old whale in Pinocchio. Remember that cartoon?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Exactly.
Jiminy Cricket like lit a candle in there. Oh, memories. Alrighty, we're going to be talking about those stories in just a bit, but first, just into our newsroom this morning, federal investigators looking into the crash of an Amtrak train last month say there is no indication the engineer was talking on his phone or texting. According to the National Transportation Safety Board, Amtrak records show that engineer, Brandon Bastian, did not access the train's Wi-Fi system while he was operating the train. You may remember 8 people were killed, more than 200 others injured when the train derailed on its way from Washington, D.C. to New York on May 12th. Well, if you don't think road rage is real, take a look at this disturbing incident between 2 drivers during morning rush hour in Hollywood. And as always, someone recorded the fight on a cell phone as they duked it out. It looks like the incident started when 2 cars came close to hitting each other. The driver on your right then punches the passenger side of the car on your left. Both cars move forward before they step again, and both drivers get out. That's when things really get ugly, as you just saw.
Yeah, one driver repeatedly kicks and punches the other, who falls to the ground that you saw there, almost into oncoming traffic. The guy finally walks back into his vehicle and drives away. Police say the incident has not been reported to them yet, but oh my gosh.
Well, the good news is this is a back view, complete
license plates.
The license plate number. So that is really
So lucky
scary.
that guy didn't die
Absolutely.
when he fell back.
Could have gotten hit by that car.
Absolutely.
Incredible video.
It's crazy people acting terribly. You know, are we acting worse, or are we just capturing it more on cell phones, these road rage incidents?
I think it's a
good
little bit of
question,
both.
huh?
Yeah, chicken or the egg there? That's a good question. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at what else is trending. Trending on Yahoo this morning, a petition to recall Ferguson. Missouri's mayor has fallen flat. That's right. St. Louis County Board of Election Commission says the group's ground level support did not submit enough valid signatures. The group submitted its petition to recall the mayor last month, and it said that they had 400 more signatures than the 1,800 needed. But upon review, there were only 1,008 valid signatures. Trending over on Facebook this morning, airline profits should reach new heights this year, but don't count on any lower fares. You surprised? Nope. The International Air Transit Association, or IATA, says that airlines are expected to earn $29.3 billion in net profits this year. It's a record high. So why doesn't the profit actually translate into lower fares? Well, they say that industry performance among global airlines isn't uniform across the board. Trending over on Twitter this morning, hashtag time capsule. A piece of history was extricated from a cornerstone at Missouri's Capitol building yesterday. The time capsule was placed in the cornerstone on June 24th, 1915. Officials spent 2 weeks trying to find the exact spot of that capsule, finally located based on historical records, and they're expecting it to actually contain a Bible, newspaper, and photos of a previous capitol that was burned. Turning now to what's trending over on our Facebook page. The grandmother of a student with learning challenges feels that the teachers for her student made fun of him. And according to Yahoo Parenting, Deborah Jose, the grandmother of a 14-year-old student at Dallas Middle School, was shocked, she says, when her grandson brought home an unusual award. Their certificate read 8th Annual Ghetto Classroom Awards, and below his name was a line stating that he'd won the Award. She says the teen is upset over the award, which made him feel inferior in comparison to some of the other classmates and the awards given out. And Michael Lamb, the school superintendent, says the administration was unaware of the offensive award and apologizes for the teacher's actions. So we're asking all of you on Facebook, what do you think? Was this just a harmless award, a joke maybe, or incredibly offensive? Well, Melissa writes in and says, incredibly harmful and wrong on so many levels. We'd love to hear what you have to say. You can go ahead and post your comments on our Facebook page. That's where the conversation continues. Sam?
All right, Melissa, thank you for that. And now we're continuing to follow that wild weather that we had yesterday. Ryan Kern is live this morning in Dayton, which seems to have gotten the brunt of the storm. Ryan, what is it looking like there this morning? Ryan, thank you for that live report. Well, still to come in our Boatman's Bargain segment, I'll tell you where you can get your dad a great deal on a quality steak dinner on Father's Day. And in your Hollywood Minute, we'll tell you how one well-known singer used the work of another famous musician to overcome stuttering at a young age. We'll be back.
If you wanna go and take a ride with me, we three women in the boat with the goatees. Oh, why do I live this way?
Welcome back, everybody. In your entertainment news this morning, Ed Sheeran says he used to stutter. What the superstar singer did to overcome his speech impediment. Plus, Hunger Games fans are getting a first look at the last movie of the franchise. Mary Maloney shows us a sneak peek in our Hollywood Minute.
One way or another, this war's gonna come to an end.
Katniss and crew are back to fight the Capitol in this new trailer. Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2 flies into theaters this November. That's Ed Sheeran covering Blackstreet's No Diggity. The talented guitarist told the American Institute for Stuttering that he stuttered, and rapping to Eminem's music helped him speak better.
So won't the real Slim Shady please stand up?
Say cheese, Amy Schumer photobombed an engagement shoot. The photographer says she didn't recognize the comedian until Schumer mentioned she's like real famous.
You can't handle the truth!
After decades of cartoon togetherness, Homer and Marge Simpson are separating. And Homer falls in love with Lena Dunham's character. That's what the show's executive producer says. See what's next when season 27 premieres in September. For Hollywood Minute, I'm Mary Maloney.
They can hit some rough patches as long as they get back together. Don't you do it. All righty, let's take it over to Samantha Boatman. She's got a look at our Boatman's Bargains on your Wednesday.
Good morning to you, Bill. Yeah, we have some great deals for you today. Let's start on livingsocial.com. Today's deal of the day is a date night at the Nevada Museum of Art. For only $39, you'll get 2 tickets to date night at the museum on select Thursdays. Not only will you be able to browse 8 galleries and take a guided tour, you'll also have $40 to spend on dinner and drinks at Chez Louis. And here's the deal of the day on Groupon.com. It's never too early to start thinking about Father's Day gifts. Yeah, we have to remember Dad is just around the corner. Why not take him out for a great steak dinner at Tamarack Junction? For $20, you'll get $40 worth of steakhouse cuisine. Or how about this? Set Dad up with a round of golf. For $59, you can give him a relaxing day on the links. He'll get an 18-hole round with a cart for 2 people at Tahoe Paradise Golf Course. And if you have a dad out there and you have found a great present for him, it's okay to share that you got a deal on it. Would you please post it on our Fox 11 Facebook page? We would love to hear what great deals you find out there. All right, well, still to come, we'll sit down with a Reno Mom Blogs contributor, find out why she says to think twice before putting a life jacket on your kids this summer. Tip?
All right, thank you, Sam. Well, we do have a flash flood watch to talk about today. Areas that are prone to flash flooding include burn scars, steep terrain, and anybody that saw heavy rain yesterday. It's in place for the day today. We're going to talk about the potential for flash flooding as we look at your forecast coming up.
You're good right there.
Good morning and welcome back to Mornings on Fox 11. So yesterday we had those isolated thunderstorms, but they were strong, the ones that were out there. Places like Dayton saw some flooding issues yesterday, and we had some strong storms up in the northern Sierra as well. The rest of us got run-of-the-mill thunderstorms. Now we have a chance across the area for some widespread rainfall, and that is what we're seeing, especially north of the Reno-Sparks area right now. Light rain out through the Winnemucca area up toward Elko County as well, down to the west of Lovelock and south of the Black Rock Desert. Some heavier rain bands falling right now across, I would say, approaching Pyramid Lake at the moment, and just to the north of Reno-Sparks. Looks like up through the North Valleys, a little bit of more moderate to heavy rainfall now, and then heading up into the mountains just to the west of us out over the California border. We have some heavier pockets of rain possible today, on and off, light to moderate rain with some heavier pockets mixed in. Could be some lightning, but there is less lightning than yesterday. Not as many thunderstorms, more of a widespread rainfall event. Light to moderate rain reported at the airport so far this morning in Reno. 59 degrees at the moment, 5-mile-per-hour winds out of the northeast, 90% humidity, and we are watching the storm system that is passing through the area for today. This is actually the remnants of what was Tropical Storm Blanca. That remnant moisture bringing us some showers, overspreading the area as we speak, and some heavier rainfall will be possible at times. Very uniform temperatures across the maps thanks to all that moisture that's out there. So there's all that moisture that was associated with Blanca and still is the remnant moisture from Blanca, excuse me. We'll be taking closer looks at the radar throughout the morning here on Mornings on Fox 11, so you can go ahead and check us out for that for the rest of this hour. Moderate to heavy rainfall at times, otherwise some breaks possible, some dry times and lighter showers as well, but overall it's a pretty wet day across the area. Flash flood watch is in effect across the entire viewing area, but especially of concern would be burn scars, steep terrain, and also anyone that saw heavy rainfall yesterday. Good news as far as any flooding concerns are, we are going to dry out tomorrow. We are looking at a much drier pattern starting tomorrow, so anyone who has been dealing with flooding will get a break, especially starting tomorrow. Temperatures will be on the rise, back up to the upper 80s and even lower 90s, which is above average for this time of year, and it's going to stay that way for the rest of the 7-day forecast. So really today is that on and off rain event, heavy at times. We will see a break starting tomorrow, starting to dry out, and again, temperatures below average for today, but very much above average even just by tomorrow and into the weekend, with a return to the 90-degree mark by Friday and Saturday in Carson City. Mornings on Fox 11. We'll be right back.
We needed somebody to lean on.
Hi. I was like, is she coming? Sorry.
But you know it used to be.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the time of the year. You know, everybody's starting to hit the pools, but before you load the kids and the sunscreen and everything, including the floaties, into the car, we know Mom's Blog contributor Lynette Cook-Bellin is here to talk about some of the dangers of floaties. Lynette, this is one of those standards. I think a lot of people go, grab them. The kids aren't so sure about swimming, so a little bit more convenient for the parents, right? Oh, I've got the floaties on, not so much of a worry, but it is. Tell me a little bit quickly, though, about your background.
So I've been swimming all my life, and I started teaching swim lessons when I was 14, and was also moved up to be a swim coach and manage pools. And so one of the things that just infuriates me when I'm at local pools is when I see these parents putting their kids in floaties as a replacement for direct adult supervision and instruction.
Direct, as in right there with them in the water.
I'm talking, you guys, you have to get in the water. If your child is not water safe, you get in the water, you be within an arm's reach, and you teach them how to float and you teach them how to swim. And even if you don't have a background in it, I mean, when your child isn't water safe, you're just teaching them basic things. Floating, blowing bubbles, kicking, using their arms, but the main thing you're teaching them is that they can't get in the water without an adult with them.
Absolutely.
Because when they're wearing the floaties, they start to think they're independent swimmers. And that means that when your back is turned, they might go into a body of water without you. And then it could be deadly.
Because they don't have the floaties on.
Right? They need to respect the water. I mean, they need to know that they can't swim without an adult until they have learned.
False sense of security there for the kids in particular. Also, life vests we're talking about here. So a lot of people strap on those life vests.
Yeah, people think they're being safe. I have a Coast Guard certified life vest, but I'm here to say that in the pool, there's no place for it. You get in, teach them how to swim. If you're not comfortable, get them swim lessons. I do recommend those Coast Guard certified provide life vests in open bodies of water, that's fine, but I also think that the parents need to be in the water within an arm's reach there as well. So they can have the life vest at Tahoe, but you need to be with them because you always need to teach them that they have to be with an adult when they're near a body of water.
Yeah, and especially the right ones too. If you're going to be using them, make sure you get the ones with the head supports for the smaller ones, because a big part of it too is that you don't think about it with those life vests. They're just because they're keeping them on top of the water doesn't mean they're keeping the right part of the body on top of the water. They can flip over and still be buoyant, feet up.
Exactly. And then you think of the floaties. Like, really, you're going to put your child's life in these $5 inflatable floaties that could be punctured, or even worse, when the child jumps in, they slip to their wrists and hold the child underwater.
Gosh, that gives me like...
Yeah.
And also, one bad experience in the water, parents, and you may have just changed the way your kids think about the water as well. So keep them out, stay in the water with them, get wet, enjoy it with your kids. Lynette, thank you so much.
Thank you.
More information on Reno Mom's blog as well if you'd like to check it out. Stay with us, everybody. Mornings on Fox 11. We'll be right back.
She is always right there when I need her. Oh, I think that I found myself a cheerleader. She is always right there when I need her.
Welcome back. I'm Melissa Carlson. Your time now is 8:28. We're joining you live from Mornings on Fox 11 with your News 4 update. Well, Governor Brian Sandoval isn't the only one ruling himself out of the race for the U.S. Senate. Nevada Lieutenant Governor Mark Hutchison is also saying, nope, not interested. The Republican told the Associated Press that he will not be a candidate in the race, but plans to diligently support fellow Republicans in the 2016 election cycle. Hutchison's name was among several that have been thrown around as potential successors to Senator Harry Reid, who will be vacating his seat. Meteorologist Tim Studebaker joins us now with a look at a wet forecast for today. Hi, Tim.
That's right. Good morning to you. Yeah, we already have some light to moderate rain in spots, even some heavier rain starting to make its way through parts of the viewing area. We'll be continuing to watch on and off rain all day today. It's the remnant moisture from what was Tropical Storm Blanca arrived in our area last night into this morning. Showers, some of those could be heavy at times all through the day, on and off though, so some breaks with dry weather as well. Localized flooding is possible. We're specifically mostly talking about burn scars, steep terrain, and places that received heavy rainfall yesterday. Those are the most likely areas to see any sort of localized flooding today if heavier rainfall moves through those areas. It's more moisture than yesterday, but less in the way of lightning. On and off rain, heavy at times for the day today. By tomorrow, things dry out and really start to warm up for us. We'll take a closer look at the radar on Fox 11 coming up in the next half hour.
A Pennsylvania woman just celebrated her 100th birthday, so you might wonder, hey, what led to her longevity? Well, her answer might surprise you.
I love her answer. And for many years, Fitzgerald's was one of Reno's busiest casinos. Now the building has been home to Whitney Peak for a year. What exciting events the non-gaming hotel has in store for its first anniversary.
Plus, a 6-year-old girl is getting famous very quickly. We're going to show you the video more than 30 million people have watched so far.
You're watching Mornings on Fox 11, connecting Northern Nevada.
And hey, good Wednesday morning, 8:32 on your Wednesday. Sound like it's going to be a wet day ahead, which is unfortunate.
It already is.
for what day it is today. It's National Iced Tea Day. So you can have green tea, you can have any kind of tea, but it's National Iced Tea Day. 4 out of 5 people actually drink some sort of tea. So it's a day to celebrate all things tea.
Love it.
In the rain.
Anything to add to that?
I got nothing to say to that.
That's about as interesting as yesterday was National Middle Child Day.
Oh, and the day before that was National Best Friends Day.
All right, there's a day for everything.
You guys both. I need to get a calendar for both of you to write this stuff down. And then today.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead because I forgot I was going to say.
Okay, well, today's also going to be a very wet day. Obviously, it started off that way, and we're going to have it for the rest of the day, which is good news for us and the drought issues that we've been dealing with and the water issues that we've been dealing with in our local areas, streams and whatnot. So how long will it last? Meteorologist Tim Studebaker is going to join us with a look at that.
Yeah, but first in your news this morning, Nevada utility regulators are poised to rule that a Las Vegas tech company that uses a lot of electricity cannot sever ties with NV Energy. A draft ruling posted by the Nevada Public Utilities Commission ahead of a vote today suggests a 3-member panel will ban Switch from going at it alone to produce and buy power. The decision is likely to ripple through Nevada's energy market because some big Las Vegas Strip casino companies also have applied to withdraw from the public energy grid. And the Nevada State Board has approved a pilot program to extend interest-free loans to Nevada state workers. It's an effort to help them retrofit their homes to save energy. Under the contract, state employees can apply for an interest-free loan of $6,000 to spend on energy-saving upgrades. Those include floor insulation, less drafty windows, and energy-efficient refrigerators. State workers who are combat veterans can apply for an $8,000 loan. The program is expected to reach about 300 to 400 state worker homes and will be available in December.
Well, as we head into summer vacation, many children will be in need of free meals that they normally can get at school. So the Boys and Girls Club of Truckee Meadows is sponsoring a food program, allowing kids to eat free meals and snacks each day of the week. The program begins June 15th and runs through August 7th. There are 4 facilities serving meals, 3 of which are in Reno, 1 in Fernley. Breakfast will be served from 8:30 to 9:30 and lunch from noon to 1 o'clock. Well, 3 teachers in Incline Village will receive recognition today as some of the town's best and brightest educators, and the public is invited to a reception in their honor. They are Jenny Holmes and Jan Harindo of Incline Middle School, and then Milt Hyams from Incline High School. If you're interested in that reception, it's today from 3:30 until 5:30 p.m.
And the Nevada Department of Wildlife is going to begin stocking rainbow trout in the Sparks Marina about 10 o'clock this morning. So about an hour and a half from now, the fish will be placed at the south end of the lake with nets to keep them close to shore. They place the nets so that the kids will have an easier time of catching the fish when they take part in Free Kids Fishing Day, which is happening this Saturday. The event does not require a fishing license and is free to the public. And the Whitney Peak Hotel in Reno is getting ready for its 1-year anniversary, and it's inviting the public. They're inviting the public to join in on the festivities. A kickoff concert featuring James McMurtry is tomorrow. McMurtry, did I say that right? Murtry? I was 1 for 3. To attend an open house and enjoy guided tours of new rooms on Saturday. The hotel's restaurant Heritage will feature all-day happy hour this weekend, and there will also be family-free climb at base camp. So a lot to do at Heritage and Whitney Peak.
Yeah, well, the Douglas County Community Services Foundation has picked a 1967 Ford Mustang to showcase during the Carson Valley Day Parade going on this weekend. Here it is. The Mustang will be the grand prize for the Foundation's Classic Car Raffle fundraiser in October. It's a pretty exclusive raffle, though. Just 100 tickets will be sold at $200 apiece. The proceeds will help out the Douglas County Community and Senior Center.
Well, if you love trucks and the bigger the better, then you're in luck. The biggest monster truck lineup to date at the Churchill County Fairgrounds begins on Friday. Octane Fest is a set of 4 events happening throughout the weekend. The events kick off with the Monster Truck Spring Nationals in Fallon at the fairgrounds there. You can buy advance tickets at O'Reilly Auto Parts stores. $13 for adults, just $9 for kids 10 and under. Melissa?
Still to come, a grandmother is in shock after her grandson came home with an award from school. Well, she's calling this honor offensive. Plus, the woman is celebrating her 100th birthday. We're going to tell you what she says. The unlikely secrets of her longevity. Stay with us. Morning on Fox 11.
Your lips taste like sangria. Pretty girls, wipe the floor with all the boys. Pour the drinks, make the noise. Piggy eggs.
Okay, of all times that I should be recording this. So I've had the pleasure of doing a couple of those voiceover for, those television commercials for those big monster truck rallies. Those voices.
Yeah, right.
I've had to do a few of those. That's fun.
Mm-hmm. When they're so blatant, they're so tacky.
Right.
It's fun. It's like.
Hey guys,
I just love doing the big voice and then putting it through all the processing to make the voice sound even bigger.
Like bigger.
Yeah. Oh, that's just fun.
Yeah.
Hey Taylor. Yeah.
We used to have an ad. I think it's a furniture warehouse or something, and then they do the blah 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 boom boom.
Yeah.
Like, what? They cannot be more hard sell than what they did.
Right.
But it's catchy, and you remember. It works.
Oh, doing commercials is fun. That's one of the things I love about this business. I love commercial production.
Yeah. The well done one. I mean, there are some that are.
What are crawlers or long johns? I've never heard.
That's one of the things we do here on this show is we try to make our commercial breaks as entertaining as the show. That way people stick through, and that's fun.
Yeah.
There you go.
but you have to be thoughtful and have that in mind, right? If you don't think about it, then it's easy to do boring whatever the client gives you. Or
It's called talented. I like good commercials, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't mind watching them.
Yeah.
These boring ones are the ones that they played too many times and I get tired of hearing them.
Yeah.
I used to go to change the channel.
Yeah, I used to go to theater, like pay money to go to a cinema to watch international good ads. But now with YouTube's, you don't need that. I mean, you watch it anyway.
You know the commercial is good when you reach for the radio remote or TV remote and turn it up.
Yeah.
I should have been recording today. Look at him go.
You should have.
Matt, here's a live look at Side Media. To get you started on this Wednesday, a rainy, slick start to your day. Be careful on the roadways this morning, guys. Current temperature right now gone down 1 degree to 59 degrees. Turning now to what is trending over on our Facebook page this morning. The grandmother of a student with learning challenges feels that teachers embarrassed her grandson. According to Yahoo Parenting, Deborah Jose, the grandmother of a 14-year-old student at a Dallas middle school, was shocked when her grandson brought home an unusual award. The certificate read 8th Annual Ghetto Classroom Awards, and below his name was a line stating that he had won the award. She says the teen was upset over the award, which made him feel inferior in comparison to all the other classmates. Michael Lamb, the school superintendent, says the administration was unaware of the offensive award and apologized for the teacher's actions. Asking our Google Plusers, what do you think about it? Was this a harmless award or incredibly offensive? Starting off first with Steve out of Sparks. Steve, what do you think? Offensive or it was just a joke?
I think it was totally wrong. I mean, if the child is challenged, then they should be in a school for challenged children, not in a public school where it's that, obvious that there's a problem. But the teacher, doing something like that, you're insulting the person because of their, incapabilities or their handicap, and that's wrong.
Inappropriate. Camden, what do you think?
Yeah, totally. I mean, instead of doing the extra step to help the students, anyone, challenge or not, this teacher seems to have gone way beyond necessary to be nasty teacher to this little kid. Create a certificate and everything. Yeah, this little kid, let them alone. Help them. Don't do stuff like this.
I feel like this is one of those, like a parent who's trying to be more of a friend than they are a leader, or a parent, same thing with this teacher, trying to be more friend, fun. Yeah, that's totally okay. Maybe not so much. Glenn, what do you think?
Well, it sounds to me when I initially read the story, then watched the local news video of the story, like the teacher was trying to have fun with the students and trying to be funny. Ghetto awards makes it sound like she's trying to use some street talk, and the is probably because the kid says a lot when asked a question. Okay, but there's a tricky thing when you're using the sense of humor. There's times when it's really funny and makes a point, and there's other times you completely missed your mark and you've done nothing but made a fool out of yourself. Unfortunately, Melissa, this time she really made a fool out of herself.
I would agree. Kara, what do we have on Facebook?
Well, Nikki writes in and says, I guess I'm the only one that doesn't find this offensive. I used to get these all the time from my teachers. And Megan writes in and says, terribly offensive and inconsiderate. I'd be furious with the teacher.
I'd love to hear what you have to say. You can go ahead and post your comments on our Facebook page. That is where the conversation continues. Thanks, guys. All right, Sam, over to you.
All right, Melissa, thank you. Well, a 6-year-old's video has taken the internet by storm. We'll show you the video that has gotten for over 30 million views. Love it. Also, the news doesn't stop when you leave the house, and Fox 11 has you covered. Download the new and improved free Fox 11 AM app for your smartphone and your tablet. Your only source for local real-time traffic updates. It's also available on Apple and Android devices. All you have to do is search Fox 11 AM. We'll be back.
Good job, Kara.
Thank you, guys.
You know it used to be bad love. So take a look what you've done. Cause baby, now we got bad blood.
Oh, she's dancing.
We got
You should have recorded all this.